your passion for marriage, what do you think fueled it? I mean, I think one of the things I find intriguing when you're talking about this is you could literally see that this is something you're passionate about. Where do you think that's coming from?
I think largely I know what it feels to come from a place where it was not gotten right. And I know what I had to fight through life to get, which the institution should have provided. And in many of those struggles, it was a lonely walk. I could not find books and teachings that would address my situation. So I promised God, when I come out, nobody will need to struggle to get the information to come out. That is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
So that means books are coming.
Yes. Lots of them.
Put your hands together. My next question. You asked a very tough question, and I know that some people might have these thoughts and not know how to ask it. So you asked if marriage was like a subscription that you renew. If you had the chance, God gave you the chance to either remarry or not, will you want to? What about people whose answer is no at this particular time? I would ask you to say who, if that's you, because you will lie. So, how do we know marriages that are at the breaking point? How far is too far? We also know that some people experience maybe like a season that is an opportunity for them to come out stronger. Unfortunately, sometimes it's make or mar. So, let me put it this way. A marriage that maybe started well and maybe hit a brick wall somewhere at the middle. What are the steps do you think? What are the signs that there's light at the other side of the tunnel, and what are the steps towards such a recovery?
I mean, please help me celebrate Apostle. That's a very powerful question. Let me say this. First, the reason why many people don't get help around the area of marriage is for two things. Number one is the ego, that I don't need any external person to help me. Number two is the stigma the society places on that. And unfortunately, not many people have found themselves in an environment where they can be completely vulnerable. I mean, you find yourself in a place where you open up to a man of God about your home, and the next Sunday you are the topic. Mm-hmm. So these are issues. But there are indices. First, when people begin to see that we started well, there's a brick wall, seek for help. All right? Seek for help. And at this point, it matters who is providing the help. Is it in every case that there is light at the end of the tunnel? In all honesty, no. As much as God hates divorce, there are situations where it is better for these two people to go separate ways if they will stay alive. I dealt with a matter where a man will beat his wife and break her bones and do all those things. And one night they had an altercation, and they both went to bed. And when the man slept off as he rolled, the woman saw he had slept on a knife. He placed the knife there. There are people that you should run away from to survive first. Then, if you must come together, we need to be sure that this person has changed. Another dimension to that is the aspect of infidelity. Is a very serious one. There are cases of people who went out to do many things and brought infections home and ended the entire family. So these are things that we need to approach not from a religious standpoint or from a traditional standpoint, but from the standpoint of, number one, up-to-date knowledge of scriptures. I use the word up-to-date because sometimes people can be loud, not knowing what the Bible is really saying, and get professional help, to be able to ascertain that. Yeah.
Please put your hands together. I think that's powerful. I was just about to ask a question, and I saw that someone asked it, and I'm very passionate about this one. I was just going to ask you, you told a story of a guy who was having premarital sex, and you said you took him through some knowledge from the scriptures and then research. I was going to ask, what did you tell him? I think that there's some people here who need to hear that. And interestingly enough, there's an anonymous message here from someone who says, I have been fornicating with my boyfriend, but he's a good man. Okay, the person said, if I have been. So it's like, for instance, or when we're growing up, it's a can it be? So it's not the person. He's asking for a friend. If I have been fornicating with my boyfriend, but he's a good man, we don't catch you. I just want to say we have caught you. If I have been, anyway, let me just read it. If I've been fornicating with my boyfriend, but he's a good man, and I believe I am a good woman as well. So this is not if anymore. Okay. Except that this is a sin, how do we move forward as a couple?
Okay. So
as a couple. Okay.
So this is no longer hypothetical. So this first thing first. It is possible that you are people who are even active in God's service and are involved in this. It is possible. First thing first. It is possible that somebody listening somewhere online somewhere is in the house of somebody that she's not married to, is not married to, listening from there, and maybe feeling trapped or enjoying it. It is possible.
And commenting word.
One. The first thing is, not everyone at the foundation of their Christian walk where there is foundation training, where they could be trained in the rudiment of what it means to be a believer. And they seem to enter into deep stuff without a deep life. And because that is happening, they look at it, that this is happening. And this guy seemed to be a good person. He doesn't shout, doesn't nag, doesn't cheat, doesn't do all those things. It is not about the temperament or the character of this person. It is about the consequence of what is going on. An appetite is being created that marriage cannot tame. What you are enjoying is not sex. What you are enjoying is the type of sex that is a sin against God. The repercussion of that is that when the one that is godly comes, you will not enjoy it. Because you have built an appetite on sin, not on sex. Stolen water is sweet. That is what is happening. When two people who are not married get sexually active, they must know they cannot help themselves. At that point, what it takes to help you is not on you. You need accountability. You need to be accountable to someone that both of you can trust, who will not drag you into condemnation, that will now raise psychopaths that will go behind to now find better ways to do it, and they become hardened. And that's why I love spiritual environment people can be open. You see. So they need someone they can be accountable to and can open up to and can. Indeed, there is a need for quarantine. You have to go stand. The issue is that many people have not learned to be single. To be single is not to be without a relationship. To be single is to be complete in itself. It's to be in a whole state. All right? That's what it means to be single. So many people have not learned it. They are addicted to love. Check. The gap between their breakups and the next relationship, the highest is a month. If nobody's calling, nobody's checking, they are feeling uneasy. That's a defect. Okay? So this fellow needs help to be quarantined for a while. While that is happening, they are growing. I've seen a case where a guy and a girl were sleeping with each other and they said they need to stop. So they went on dry fasting together. The girl did 3 days. The guy did 7 days. The day he broke the 7-day fasting was the day he impregnated her. And guess what? She gave birth to 2. To tell you how anointed. So you need external help.
Please put your hands together.